Join the Super Soldier Talk podcast this Saturday, July 13, 2024, between 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the first time ever and free. Timeline of Disclosure Conference and Soul Healing Fair at Indian Rocks Beach Museum Park in St. Petersburg, Florida. We will start off the day's celebration with a memorial dedicated to deceased ufology experts and secret space program comrades. Do you want to learn what is really going on out there with UFOs and aliens? Then join us as our amazing speakers share more about their service in the secret space program. We will also have psychic readers, and at the end of the day, a costume contest. Upgrading to a VIP timeline of Disclosure Conference Pass will allow you to listen and meet more secret space program whistleblowers. The VIP conference begins a day before the Soul Healing Fair on Thursday, July 11th and Friday, July 12th at the Harborside Holiday Inn in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. VIP ticket holders can also join us for the after party on Sunday, July 14th. Come show your support for individuals who have been abused in these top secret clearance programs as we co-create a timeline of disclosure for humanity.
Welcome, new tumblers. A145 the Mapmaker here with James Rink, who is putting on an expo next week that I will be speaking at, as well as him and several other speakers, called Timeline to Disclosure, happening, we'll call it in St. Pete, Florida, close enough to St. Pete, Florida. So welcome, James Rink. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent today, Dylan. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show again. I've always been impressed with the work you've accomplished over the years, and I do believe that you deserve to be recognized and honored for that, for your mapping and your artwork. And I think I just saw some new artwork you just posted about something about the religion one. I don't know, but anyway, but this is not really about Dylan, right? So it's like, yeah. So my name is James Rink, for those of you who don't know, and I started the Super Soldier Talk podcast about 14 years ago, give or take. And my mission statement has been to bring awareness of these classified, clandestine to military projects, or when we first started off, we called it a MILAB, a military abduction. Now we realize it's actually called a 20 and back, where an individual had been taken from the here and now moment and utilized in these projects for 20 years, perhaps in a clone body, or they would have been re-aged and time traveled back. Memories erased to the moments right before they took you. So, yeah, I've always wanted to put on a conference. Over the years, people have asked me to put on an event, and back in, I guess it would have been last fall, some of my friends, we got together and we were pulling some funding to pull this off. And I wanted more of a recreational component to my event. That's partly why I picked a beach resort. I picked the Serrata Beach Resort there. And but it was obvious to me that it was too much money and we didn't really have enough time. So I wanted to downgrade everything. And I had some arguments with the people I was working with about the budget. So ultimately I canceled it for next year, and they went behind my back copying all my IP, my ideas I was putting together, and my conference. And then they did it without me. But my listeners, and I guess, Dylan, you were there when that was going on, and it was we found a venue where we could just do like a one-day thing, and it was extremely affordable. I think we were like looking at like $1,500 or something for this one day, and then when my listeners, so I booked that so I could do it anyway because some of my listeners provided the funds for it. And then we found out that some of these listeners wanted more and more, so I expanded a little bit to where we are right now. We have the Timeline of Disclosure Conference, so that's at the Holiday Inn at Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. That is just south of Clearwater.
Pull up the flyer here so people can see it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got the new flyer. Okay, you must have went on the.
I photoshopped my own picture.
Well, I photoshopped that.
Well, I took my picture from the original one and put it on the new one. But yeah, this is the newest one. So yeah, the schedule has changed a few times.
You went to the timelinedisclosure.com, because I haven't even uploaded that on the Ticket Spice yet.
But, I think I got this from the email you sent, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but
Well,
so this
yeah.
is the most updated information. It's like the main indoor events is the Thursday, Friday, primarily the Friday. Thursday is kind of like a little end of the day, half day.
Yeah.
And then Friday's like a full day. And then you've got like the outdoor healing fair, soul healing fair, you're calling it, on the Saturday. And
Yeah.
then the Sunday is the drum circle, right?
Yeah,
And
that
what
we're
you
going
were
over
just
that
adding.
drum circle. So we'll because I know Dylan, you were doing something on Saturday and we were having some issues with some of the personnel. So I just figured it'll be safer if we just kind of we put this on that Saturday. But we're gonna try to figure things out. So next year we'll make it even greater. But so yeah, for Thursday we start at 7 to 10 p.m. on July 11th over there at the Indian Rocks Beach Holiday Inn. And then Friday we start at 7 a.m. Well, breakfast is 7 to 9. The actual session begins around 9:30 ish. But if you apparently my VIP food tickets have been expanded to Wednesday now. So I really think if you want to come, maybe try to get that in before by Tuesday. I wouldn't recommend asking me a Thursday morning if you can. Oh man, that would probably be too late because you guys would be. I mean, I've got a flight that Thursday, but yeah. So we do have food passes for Friday for breakfast and lunch. And then at 4 o'clock, we have just like a recreational free component. You guys can do whatever you want to do. Some of us are going over to Krabby Bill's, and then some of us are gonna be checking into our Airbnbs, and because we changing the venue there. But yeah, the beach is like what 600 feet away or 700 feet away from that hotel. Um, let's see here. So Saturday, we're from 12 to 6 is this soul healing fair over there at the Indian Rocks Beach Museum. So, you know, it is,
Chickasaw Park around that museum.
yeah, the Indian Rocks, it's the Chickasee Park is like probably like a 30-foot by 30-foot area, but the area around the museum is where we're going to kind of be. There's a gazebo there, and I'm going to have some, we're going to do a memorial to some of these disclosure experts, or heroes, we call them. And so we got 48 disclosure heroes. I'm also going to do a short speech. So you might find out a little bit about some of the history of these. Like we'll go into some of the majestic stuff and also um, the early secret space program. And what I do is I actually like quote other whistleblowers. So it's not like me coming up with some of my own extrapolation. This is actually, yeah, we're just quoting other people. So then after that, I'm gonna work on getting you guys some free like dance classes. I probably might have a free like a break dancer there, but you'll find out soon enough. So and then the other side of the park, we'll have an area where we'll have some more speakers. Spencer is coming in. I know Dylan, you probably won't be there. Maybe you will be. Maybe we'll see. Because I really hope if you I know there's another event going on that Saturday, but if you could just at least come between 12 and 1, uh, during your lunch break, it would be awesome because uh, that's this is I guess this might be the first time anybody's ever done a memorial to some of these disclosure experts like Robert Dean, Clifford Stone. We got Admiral Borda in there, Forrestal, Secretary of Defense, and we have of course JFK. He was part of these projects. He had access to the majestic information, and of course, Robert Dean, John Lear. So we could go on and on, but um,
Well, yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. And then there's definitely fire spinners at the drum circle on Sunday, which is a public event. I guess you have it listed as like a private thing for your camp, but that is like a public drum circle. But yeah, I know it's a lot to put on an expo. I mean, this is kind of your first one. I don't even really know personally because I've never taken that as a project. It seems pretty ambitious, but you've hit a few road bumps in the process, but I'm hoping it's going to be a really good one. You've got a good lineup. And this is an example of like, a homegrown organic expo, like the one I just did, Rebirth Festival, that, a lot of the bigger ones and bigger locations seem to me to be a little bit cabal-y. Can't really put a finger on it. I feel like the ones hosted by Gaia, obviously, there's like a component of that. I'm not really into a lot of the ones in Vegas, like not to name any names, but I'm glad to see, people like you specifically, like taking the initiative to put this thing together. And I think it's going to be a really cool event. Definitely very interested in all those super soldier, my lab people, like the stories they have to tell, very interesting. I was just listening to Tony Rodriguez on Nino, or I guess it's Nino Rodriguez and Tony Rodriguez, right? They're not brothers, but I was listening to his story again. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of information in that whole department that a lot to explore there. And so do you want to speak a little bit about maybe some of the other speakers that are coming to this event? Like, what they're all about, maybe some of the highlights that they might touch on?
Absolutely. So if you go to my website, Timeline Disclosure, by the way, I think that link is banned on the Facebook platform. Were you able to get that thing uploaded again on Instagram without that link?
No, like when I tried to post the link on Instagram took it down and said like I was posting a spam link or something like that. And so I was pretty surprised by that, because it's just like it was just a link to the ticket page. So unfortunately, Facebook is trying to mess with us, or some people have reported this to try to mess with us. But we'll definitely put the link in the description here, which will be a direct link that they cannot censor. So
Yeah, I recommend you go to the Ticket Spice or just put the timelinedisclosure.com. Everything is like mirrored back and forth right now. I'm trying to just trying to get the website uploaded. I barely got any sleep last night because I was up working on artwork and trying to get these signs posted. Anyway, the point is, yeah, so we have, of course, I'm going to be speaking about the Secret Space program. That Thursday night we have a panel. So Dylan, I'm pretty sure you're going to be there, right? Thursday.
yeah, I'll be flying in like Thursday afternoon, so I should
Yeah.
be able to make the Thursday night panel.
Great. Jim Price is going to be emceeing for us, which is great. We might see some other special guests come in, but Spencer is one of our admins on our Facebook group, and he was part of the Montauk and Monarch program, and he is a targeted individual, and he will be sharing some of what he's been going through. And we also have Tomas, and he was in Nachtwaffen as a military intelligence officer. Was it on the El Chapo? I think he was on the El Chapo. I'm mistaken. Let's see here. Linda puts on the McAllister TV podcast over there on BitChute. It's also on Rumble apparently, but so she used to work for CNN, but she realized how corrupt it was. I guess she said, well, didn't audience members didn't she just say that because we just did an interview like a couple of days ago. I think she said she was like watching my channel, and then she realized, how corrupt it all was, because she said that a lot of these newsrooms would have a computer in there that was hooked up to the Associated Press. So these newsreels were all based on what was coming out of that computer. So like literally all the same news agencies were all promoting the same thing, even though we had different reporters maybe spinning it different ways. It was the same story. So the thing is, a lot of the stories were not being submitted. Like we can talk about how about free energy inventors being murdered or something like something like that. So yeah, so that's Linda. We also have Dylan, the Deep State Mapping Project.
Yeah, I'm still putting together, like, I'm going to try to do a somewhat unique presentation for this to really try to focus on the SSP aspects of some of my different maps, maybe connecting like the DARPA map and the Ashtar timeline, and definitely going to share with everyone like the DSMP master map a little bit, which is everything at once, to try to show you the big guide map. But and maybe talk a little bit about some of my telepathic and astral experiences, which was really mostly in 2019 and then seemed to stop. But I had seen some definite secret space program type things in my dreams in 2019 that seemed like a pretty unusual experience. So may get into a little bit of that too. So yeah, I'm gonna try to bring something unique to this event for sure.
Yeah, and you're speaking that Friday, your own private session. Yeah, but we also have Raw Cloud there. So Raw Cloud was in the US Navy, but he was stationed on one of these space platforms where extraterrestrials would have to if they wanted to visit planet Earth, they have to check into these space platforms. But some of these ETs wouldn't go around and not do that. So they would call in like groups of black op teams or the Men in Black, for example, ACIO Division Number 6, to go in there and take care of those issues. But yeah, so Raul Cloud will be sharing about what he recalled in that particular service. And of course, Oksana, she's a full-on seer, so she we'll see. Maybe she can do the channel message with the dolphins. I know Lauren was going to do it, but she was unable to come. I think there's some issue with the border patrol, but we'll see maybe next year. Okay. So, but Sue Mount may or may not come. I know she's having some issues walking right now. She's in Sarasota. Maybe if somebody from Sarasota is wanting to pick her up and bring, I don't know, but we'll see. So, Sue was Eisenhower's uncle, like a monarch. He was he used her sort of like a Kathy O'Brien. So apparently the Eisenhowers were no good, according to Sue. But yeah, well, in my presentation, we discuss. We're going to go in a little bit into my SSP 101 about Truman and what was going on with the Germans in Antarctica. And essentially, we had the Greada Treaty with the Greys that took place that set up this whole thing where Greys would abduct humans in exchange the military would get technology. So essentially, humans were the product. So that's the theme of this event is we want to let people know that there is human trap. Can I say that? Is this going on YouTube?
No, this is Rumble BitChute
Okay.
only.
Okay. Yeah, so there is human trafficking, and we are the product, us humans utilizing these programs. So yeah, so come on out, go to timelineofdisclosure.com, click on the ticket spice link. We probably have a little bit more vendor space. It might be gone by the next day or two, but if you want to come and join us for that outdoor soul healing fair, there's plenty of room for that. Just bring a 10 by 10 foot tent and just give us contact us. Let's see here. And parking is free for ticket holders, but that soul healing fair is free, but you probably gonna have to pay to park that Saturday. It's $20, but there is a shuttle, so you could theoretically go to like the Day of Being and take the shuttle over to our event. I think we're going to be like maybe 2 or 3 miles away. But yeah, so come on out for 12 to 6 o'clock, and then Sunday you can join us over there for the at the drum circle. So in Treasure Island. But we're gonna have a great time. I have room for a few more people if you want to join us. And yeah, we're gonna have a great. And we're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna learn about the Secret Space program, and by coming together, we'll be able to network and maybe try to heal each other. So and yeah, we're gonna be on the beach there. So the sand there comes off of it's like quartz crystal, so it comes off of a Atlantean temple that used to be out in the Gulf, but of course I think it probably disappeared into like a pocket route in reality if you know how these things work. But yeah, so come on out. The flights to Tampa are pretty affordable. I was
Well,
just
I'll give people a little tip. Try to find a flight to St. Pete, actually. There's the Tampa airport, which you then have to drive across that bridge about 30 minutes. But some airlines fly to St. Pete, specifically from Allegiant.com. Is how I get there from Ohio. It's a really easy flight straight to St. Pete. So
good.
They don't fly everywhere, but you can check to see if like Allegiant comes to your city because they definitely go to St. Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I paid what was it? Like $100 each way or something, $95 each way with my luggage. So that was with Spirit. So, but if you don't feel confident on Spirit, yeah, Allegiant Airways goes to St. Pete, and there's yeah, there should be no really excuse not to come. I know it's like a lot of money, but you could always buy a live stream pass, or you could just donate money to our nonprofit healingsoulsurvivors.org, and the donations will be greatly appreciated and will help us out for future projects and endeavors. So, in the Super Soldier Talk podcast.
Yeah, it's looking like a great event. This Super Soldier Secret Space program stuff is like some of the deepest levels within the truth disclosure community. You know, you've got alien expos that's just kind of about like UFO crashes and whatnot. You've got channelers and you've got, you know, Q expos, but like this secret space program, super soldier stuff, it's like, it's really deep, but there's just more and more information that keeps coming out about it, and people that keep having memory recalls, you know, patents being disclosed that confirm this stuff is real and exists. So, you know, typically with my work, you know, my main diagram, like the Q web, like we try to stick to like declassified CIA stuff, but we also look into the unacknowledged special access projects, which, you know, obviously there's a lot from what we do know is declassified. We know there's a lot more that has not been declassified. And I do believe that that definitely goes into secret space programs. And, you know, we've heard more and more about the Nazi breakaway civilizations, which a lot of this is involved with. And then James even knows a lot and talks a lot about interplanetary corporations, intergalactic corporations. I've been really hyped up because I recently found a DIA report that was saying Stargate technology is not complicated. It's simple. It exists. And so, yeah, there's a lot of confirmation that these type of things are happening. And this is like the tip of the spear of really finding disclosure about it. A lot of these people that have been through these 20 and back programs that have been traumatized and have retrieved some of these memories that they tried to wipe out. So yeah, I think it's going to be hopefully a really good event. I mean, it's that, you know, it's a lot to take on, and I'm glad that you've done it. I hope you have other ones in the future and that this one goes well. I'm definitely excited to be there. And just so people know, you know, this is overlapping with the Day of Being, which is on the same Saturday. There was quite a few changes in the schedule of both this event and the expo that's happening after, which I think they end up calling like Full Disclosure Now conference. But this one, like the original idea was for this to be before. Now it's, you know, there's something to do on Saturday as well as Day of Being. So you could maybe hit both of those events on the Saturday. Day of Being is on the beach in Indian Shores, and the Soul Healing Fair will be part of the Super Soldier Conference at that park that was on the flyer. So, you know, and then we can all meet up again at the at the Treasure Island Drum Circle on a Sunday. So yeah, there has been a few little schedule changes, and hopefully it's confirmed now we won't have any more schedule changes or conflicts with the city. But James has done a lot of work to get the correct permits and everything and make the reservations. So it's looking like it's going to be a successful first expo for James. And congratulations for putting this together so far. And I'm really excited for this to be a successful event.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have, we have 8 speakers, but we may have some more coming. And there'll be some vendors out there. You know, Sean Callahan's coming from Richmond with some of his, perhaps he'll bring a Therify, but we'll find out soon. With a whole like truckload of stuff that he's bringing with the Baxter Biohealth people. But right, I think you'll all enjoy it. And the tickets are very affordable. I probably did not charge enough money, so you should probably take advantage of it because next year it's not going to be that affordable. But we'll probably be adding on to it too. Like next year, you'll have maybe an extra day. But we'll see. We'll see. So I think we have like, was it like 140 or something with the food pass per person? We have like a discount for couples, and then the vendor tables are affordable too. So yeah, come on out to the Timeline Disclosure next week.
All right, yeah, link in the description to the main site where you can find out all the information as well as buy tickets. And yes, next week in St. Pete or around that area of Florida, come meet all the super soldiers and the mappers, and yeah, hang out on the beach. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Right.
And of course, check out James on Rumble, or what's your main platform now? I know you've had some trouble on YouTube, but Super Soldier Talk on all the different platforms.
Super Soldier Talk, we are still on YouTube. It's a miracle. I'm not quite sure how we did it. Well, I know how we did. I had to self-purge. I have 12 strikes on YouTube, so I would get a strike and then I would delete. Yeah, I would go to another channel and come back. But ultimately what happened is one day they were coming in and deleting, like, I think we had three videos deleted in like a 24-hour period. So it was obvious somebody was going through, they were just picking all these. So I had to purge 3 years of content because they kept changing what you're allowed to say. and I didn't know. And then they were deleting these videos per hour. I figured I was only a few hours away, so I had to just purge 3 years worth of content. But it's over on Rumble. I recommend you go over there if you want to see the full archive, Super Soldier Talk, and also I'm monetized over there. I mean, they only give me like $60 a month, but it's better than YouTube, where they actually put ads in my videos. So like my Changes on the Horizon documentary got 5 million views, and on my channel it's still stuck around 300,000, but everyone else gets uploaded and they all put ads. But I can talk about how unfair it all is. But the point is that this is all about disclosure. It's about trying to learn the truth, what's going on out there. And despite all this, I still would have done it all over again. So yeah, and that's that Change on the Horizon documentary took 3 years of my life to put together. So you should probably see. Have you seen it, Dylan?
Of course, that was one of the first pieces of inspiration for my Jasara map. So yeah, James made the best documentary about the Jasara theory before this map existed, and before Russia went on the gold-backed ruble, and a lot of other confirmations of this theory. So it's ahead of the game in a lot of ways by years. I mean, it's pretty impressive that your channel has been there for 13 or whatever years you said, which is so much longer than almost all the other truther channels out there, other than David Icke, Alex Jones. I mean, you're almost like the third runner-up, having been in the space. So yeah,
Have I been? I mean, I guess Carrie Cassidy lost her. I know she started before me, but I think she lost her.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Carrie Cassidy.
Yeah, and I think Laura Eisenhower, she lost her channel recently. So did Tyler, but I told Tyler what he needed to do, but I guess they're now back on YouTube, which is good. And there was so many that even like Linda from McAllister TV, she told me she lost her channel. So yeah, the way I survived is I had to purge a bunch of stuff.
Well, I tried purging mine and it didn't work, but
really,
I don't think, I'm just glad that you did survive on there, but I'm glad you're on other platforms as well. Because I think coming up to this election, we're going to see a lot more censorship of truther channels in some way, whether it's just shadow banning or full-on banning. We got to be ready, and we got to be ready to migrate too. And so I think in-person events like this are a good time to connect with people and find out, where to find them, get on people's newsletters list, just in case the cabal tries to pull a fast one again in the election year. So yeah, come on out to St. Pete, and thanks for coming on to help promote this, James. And thanks for putting it together. Thanks for inviting me, respecting me, putting me up high on the speakers list. A lot of expos just don't invite me at all, or they put me like the last person on the speakers list. So thanks for that little hat nod. And we'll see everyone in St. Pete. Come on out.
Join the Super Soldier Talk podcast this Saturday, July 13, 2024, between 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the first time ever, and free. Timeline of Disclosure Conference and Soul Healing Fair at Indian Rocks Beach Museum Park in St. Petersburg, Florida. We will start off the day's celebration with a memorial dedicated to deceased ufology experts and secret space program comrades. Do you want to learn what is really going on out there with UFOs and aliens? Then join us as our amazing speakers share more about their service in the secret space program. We will also have psychic readers, and at the end of the day, a costume contest. Upgrading to a VIP Timeline of Disclosure Conference Pass will allow you to listen and meet more secret space program whistleblowers. The VIP conference begins a day before the Soul Healing Fair on Thursday, July 11th and Friday, July 12th at the Harborside Holiday Inn in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. VIP ticket holders can also join us for the after party on Sunday, July 14th. Come show your support for individuals who have been abused in these top secret clearance programs as we co-create a timeline of disclosure for humanity.